welcome to the Arctic Knitting Podcast episode 26. My name is Emilie and you can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as Arctic Knitting, and you can find the group for this podcast where you also find the show notes, and we have knit-alongs going on and lots of chatter and fun stuff. That is on Ravelry, and you search for Arctic Knitting or Arctic Knitting Podcast in the group tabs on Ravelry. So that's me. I am coming to you from the Arctics, north of Norway. I have seen that I have gotten quite a few new subscribers lately, so welcome to you. It's so much fun to have you here, and I am so excited that people are interested to watch me ramble on about knitting. Yeah. So it's been a month since I last recorded. This is the fifth time I do this introduction, so I forget what I have already talked about, but it's been a month since I last recorded. Approximately. We were sick. I have a kid, he's 1.5 years old, and he was sick. No, he wasn't sick. I was sick, and my boyfriend was sick. The kid was not sick. My parents were sick, and my boyfriend's parents were sick, and my brothers were sick, and my kid, he was just fine. And then I have been traveling. I've been to Oslo with work, and unfortunately I didn't get time to meet up with any of my knitting friends down there this time. But I was to Oslo with work, and I have been to Harstad, which is just the next city. It's just about 80 kilometers, I think. But anyway, I drove there and I stayed there for 3 nights to work, and yeah, time just flew by. So, in the group there are some knit-alongs going on. We have the Socknes. I'm going to start with that. It's a year-long call, and it is for socks. Well, Socknes. What I do to that makes this a little bit different is that each month there is a new theme. The theme for January was lace. The theme for February was special heels, which means not a fish tip skiss heel or short row heel, and it has to be something funky. I think I called it funky heels actually. Anyway, the theme for March is decided and the video is made, so it will be coming up on YouTube on the 28th of February, so that you can collect your yarn and start knitting 1st of March too. Yeah. So you can enter that knit-along, and the finished object thread you can enter anything, any socks that you have made. It doesn't have to be to fit that month's theme, but if it don't you get 1 point, and if it does fit the theme you will get 3 extra points. So 2 extra points, so 3 points in total. And because I haven't recorded since the end of January, I haven't selected a winner for January, because I will select a winner each month, and then at the end of the year I will make a grand prize or something where the winner will get something really big. And I haven't even started to think about that because, well, I still have 10 months. So what I did was that I put all the, because it's not like normally one post is 1 point. Here some posts are worth 1 point and some posts are worth 5 points. So I put everything in a spreadsheet in Excel, and I figure out how many points. I made it like a ticket, so that if post number 2 got 3 points, post number 2 we got ticket number 1, 2 and 3, and yeah. Anyway, and I used random.org to select a winner, and the winner was post number 78, which had ticket number 149, and that is Miss Vanny. And Miss Vanny, I am so glad that you won, because the prize for this for January is a skein of my hand-dyed yarn, and you will get a skein, whichever skein you like in whichever color you like, and I will ship it out to you as soon as you have contacted me. And I'm really thrilled that you won, because I know that the Greece have some weird restriction. I don't get it, I don't understand it, but they have some restrictions which makes that you can't buy stuff from out of Greece or something like that. So I'm really glad that you won it, and that you will get to have some luxury yarns from another place. like Norway. The other knit along we have going on is the kofte along, and today it will be easy to explain what a kofte is. This is a kofte, and you haven't seen this before. This is a new one. A kofte is basically it's a cardigan. It can be a sweater as well. We have decided. I'm co-hosting this with Lily from Nordic Stitches podcast. It's a cardigan or a sweater pullover where you have lots of stranded knitted. We have decided that it has to be stranded knitting on this part. But many of the traditional ones have, like this one, it has stranded color work all over. So that is going on until I don't remember, week after Easter or something. Yeah, so it's still time to join, and it doesn't have to be a fingering weight cardi, and it doesn't have to be an adult one. So you could make a baby cardigan or a baby sweater with a little bit heavier yarn, as long as it is stranded knitting at least the upper part. But if you want to knit stranded knitting all the way, that would be awesome. And there are some I understand that this won't be like the knit along that everyone joins, because it is quite a commitment to make an all stranded garment. But there are some nice projects going on in the chatter thread. I don't think I have opened a finished objects thread, and if I haven't, I probably should do that soon. There are also a hashtag on Ravelry, which is koftealong, putting that down here, and people have been using that, and it's so much fun to see what everyone is making. And my only trouble with this long is that I want to make everything. I want to make like 17 stranded sweaters before Easter. Probably can't do that, but I really want to. There are so many pretty ones. So over to this one. This is a new one. I don't know what it's called. I thought it was from that book, Kofteboken, but I think I just flipped through the book earlier to see where it was from. To see what it. I flipped through the book earlier to see what the cardigan was called, but I couldn't find it, so I think it's from Kofteboken 2, which is the second. It's a green edition of the same. Yeah. But this one was a gift to me from my mother-in-law, and I'm just going to stand up. Yeah, I'm wearing my pajamas pants because it's Saturday, and I've actually been outside playing in the snow in my pajamas pants today, but no, that's okay. So this is the whole thing. Can you see it? Oh, that's hard. You can see the pattern. I really love this. It is not bleached white, so it's natural undyed color, and it is marine blue, in case you don't see the colors properly. And this is made from Charisma, Drops Charisma. I'm not sure which yarn it calls for, and I don't know what needle she used, but I'm guessing like probably a 4mm needles is my guess. This has traditional Norwegian buttons, and instead of knitting this thing to hide the stitches, because this is knitted in the round and cut open, and instead of knitting a thing over it, she has used ribbon with Selbustar, which also is a traditional Norwegian pattern. It's really well, and I have been wearing this all the time. Last week when I was traveling to work, I wore this in the car to the shop where we were working, which was like 5-minute drive, and then I actually changed in the shop because I don't want to, or I changed to my fleece jacket because I'm not going to work in this. But I have been wearing it all the time. So I have one last announcement before I move on to finished object, and that is that the pattern for my Sigrid socks is ready to be released and will be released within a week, or hopefully I will have it. Yeah, I'm just going to say it and then I will just beat myself if it doesn't happen. I will have the pattern for my Sigrid socks up about the same time as this podcast go up. Hopefully a little bit before. But this is the pattern. It is the same as the Sigrid hat, which I have already out there, and it is knit on 2.5mm needles. It comes in 3 different sizes, and it has this lace thing going all the way down. This is knitted in my hand-dyed yarn in the Snøbase, which is the sparkly base, which you can't see that well, but these are going to be my Easter socks because they are bright yellow. They have the heel, I think it's called the Eye of a Partridge heel, but they have the heel that my, see if I can get this to focus. Nope. They have the heel that my grandma taught me how to knit, so it's my grandmother's heel. So the pattern for that will be up pretty soon, and I think I will charge like $2.50 or $3 or something like that. So that's it for introduction, and I have some finished objects. First one, I have to give in the ends. I'm so horrible at doing that. First finished object though is the bubblegum socks. I have knitted those in this yarn, which is yarn from Hedgehog Fibers, and I don't remember what the base was called, but it is their 75-25 or 80 or 80-20 merino nylon, so it's just it's a normal sock yarn. And the colorway is Dove, which I really enjoy. These are so pretty. The pattern for this is bubblegum. It's my pattern, my bubblegum socks pattern. And I have just followed the pattern all the way. I have made some adjustments to the pattern. It hasn't been updated, but if you have purchased this pattern, you will get an update pretty soon, because I have adjusted the the placement of the stitch pattern. Yeah, or the lace pattern or whatever. I have adjusted the placement of that a little bit so that it will be the same on this side and on that side, in all the sizes. So an update for that is coming up. I knit these on 2.5mm needles, and I think I knit I don't remember the shoe sizes. I just call them small, medium and large, and this is the medium one. And these are for me. The other finished object I have, you will be impressed. Oh, sorry. I'm recording with my iPad, and the iPad was standing on top of the project bag that I grabbed. So it's not completely finished because I have to do, well, the finishing, but the knitting is done. This is for the Koftalong. This is for Ludvig, my son, in case you're a new viewer. And this, I was planning, I knitted in size 2 years old, or 2 year. But I think it looks a little bit small, so I'm not sure if it's going to fit him next winter, or if I'm just going to have to try it on him, and if it looks like it doesn't going to fit him next winter, he will have it for Easter this year. So this will maybe be his Easter sweater when we go to the mountains. This is a traditional Norwegian sweater called Setesdal. It's the king of traditional sweaters in Norway. I'm just going to grab a few skeins of the yarn. So I have used Dale Baby Wool, these 2 colors. And the white one is colorway 17, and the blue one is 5931. I have made the whole thing on 2.5mm needles. I should have gone down to 2 on the rib, but I didn't have 2mm circular needles, so 2.5 it was. And okay, I'm not quite sure what to say about this. It's a traditional Norwegian pattern, as I said, and I have done some mistakes. Let's see if I can show you. I don't think it will be that much of a trouble. Or it won't be. It doesn't bother me at all. Yeah. So, you can see there. I knit this part and the 2 lines, and I was supposed to knit this part on the arms as well, but then I was distracted and I forgot it on the first arm, and I didn't realize it until I was casting on, or I was at the same point on the other arm, and I was like, well, something's wrong. And luckily I realized it then, so that I could make the same mistake on both arms so that they match. So I think it doesn't really matter. And this is, I think it looks, let me see, I think because it's a rounded yoke, and I think it looks a little bit like there's too much fabric, or the decreases are too fast or something, because it's a bottom up cardigan. And I don't think this is available in English, but I know there are other cardigans and patterns out with this like this stitch pattern. So yeah, I really loved it, and I love knitting it. And my plan is to make, I'm going to show you my next project is for this, and I'm also going to make him, you can see I have quite a bit of blue yarn left. I have 4 skeins of blue and 1 skein of white, so I am going to make him a matching hat, pants, and if I have enough yarn I will make scarf, mittens, and a pair of socks as well. So this is, that will be his Easter outfit. It seems like it will be, even though it was supposed to be his outfit for next winter. I finished this up yesterday, and I immediately, because I have been so good, I haven't been casting on that many things lately, but I immediately cast on the hat, which, well, yeah, it has ear flaps, and on the hat I am going to knit, it's going to look like this. It will be this part of the pattern, and it will be laces all the way up, and they have ear flaps, or it have ear flaps rather, and it will have a tie to the ear flaps to like tie it under his chin so that it doesn't fall off. Yeah, it will also, I have to get a small crochet hook because it's going to be crocheted with, yeah, fastmaske, I don't know the English term, single crochet chain, like, yeah, something. 2 rounds around. If you crochet, you probably know what I'm going to do, and if you don't crochet, you probably don't really care, but I'm going to crochet 2 rounds of fastmaske around the entire start of the hat, and I'm going to make those in blue, and ribbon to, or the I-cord or whatever I'm going to make other. I'm having trouble talking today. I'm going to have to start making podcasts more often. Yeah, anyway, the ribbon is going to be made in blue as well, an I-cord, and yeah, I think it will be quite pretty. 2.5 millimeter needles here as well. I've lost the skein, and I'm using a stitch marker, which is, let's see, it really won't focus, but it's really pretty. There it is. It's really pretty. It looks like the traditional, I don't know if they are traditional like Holland stuff, but it looks like they are from the Netherlands, in blue and white. And this is made, I bought this a year ago on a knitting retreat in Norway, and these are made by Duskdama, and I'm going to put a link to her shop in the show notes, and you can check it out if you are, well, you can check it out anyway. I'm not sure if she ships internationally. I know that she has an Etsy shop. I will see if there is anything in it, and if it is, I will link to that one as well. But it's really pretty, and she has the most awesome like pom-poms, fake for pom-pom, and they are gorgeous. So, well, I'm over to works in progress. My second work in progress, let's see if I can find it here. I have quite a bit of stuff. My second work in progress is made from my hand-dyed yarn, and it is, yeah, I think I have ripped back or something. I am working on the first sock, and it's just a basic vanilla sock, 72 stitches. Yarn dyed by, it's not my hand-dyed yarn, it's my base and my colors, but it is dyed by my brother. Because not last time I was dyeing, but one time I was dyeing, he came by just as I was about to finish up, and I have like, I mix my dye stock in Pepsi bottles, and then I just, when I dye, I put it into plastic cups to measure from, because I use syringes to measure, and I can fit the syringes in the bottles. And I always have like a little bit left over in all the cups, and it's not always I bother to put it back into the bottle. So my brother came by, and I told him to dye some yarn, and he did, and this is the result. And I think it looks super pretty, and these are going to be socks for him because he just turned 20. So I mentioned earlier, I'm going to talk really fast about this. 2.5mm needles, Knit Pro Sings, 72 stitches, 20 rounds of 2x2 rib, and a fish lipstick seal, and this is the first one, and they will probably be on like for Christmas or something, because I'm not in the mood for vanilla socks at the moment. I should just finish up the first one, and then maybe the other one will just go by, who knows. So, that was socks for my brother. I have also started, I said earlier that I hadn't been starting that many new things, but it has been a month, and the first couple of days I just continued casting on. This is just living in a shopping bag from Stormberg, because that's what I had available. And let's see. I have casted on a honey pullover. Let's see. Too much stuff going on. I have casted on a honey pullover. This is how far I have gotten, and it's been a couple of weeks. I just casted it on and knitted on it for one evening and then forget about it. But I want to finish it before the end of March so that I can enter it into the knit along that Wool & Vine is hosting. These are the colors. They are unnamed because, or this is kind of teal. This one is unnamed because it's just a one-of-a-kind colorway that I dyed up for this project. And I am using Haya Sharps. Yay! I really enjoy knitting on them. I think I will have to knit on this later tonight. But I have other projects that I really need to finish, that I will show you in a moment. But I really enjoy this. I thought before I started that it was supposed to be 2 rounds of each color, but there are 3. I'm following the pattern like a slave, and I really enjoy the way that is looking, and I can't wait to get this one going, because I like knitting stripes. I have stitch markers, which are little sheeps. I have, let's see if I can see it. I have 3 of these white ones. And then at the beginning of the round I have a black sheep. And this is also from Duskedamen, and I bought this in sets. I think it was a total of 5, or maybe it was 6, and I don't remember how much I paid for it, but it was, if it was 5, it was 4 white ones and 1 black to mark the beginning of the round. So yeah, I don't know what needle size I'm using, I have no idea. It actually says there US2 2.75mm needles. I have one more work in progress, which I have over here. Sorry to say. This is just laying in a shopping bag. Let's see. When I went to Oslo a couple of weeks ago, I really wanted to crochet, but my granny stripe blanket it's a little bit too wonky to pull out in an airplane. So I stopped in my local yarn shop. And I bought these 6 skeins of fingering weight yarn. Some of them are Lanette, and most of them I think is Sisu. It's a Norwegian, Sandnesgarn is a Norwegian brand, and you can buy it on almost every corner in Norway. So I have this 6, and I think this one is my favorite color. It's teal blue, and it is color 7024 Sisu, I think it was. This one is Sisu, colorway 3911. Lanette, colorway 4517. Lanette apple green, colorway 8913, and a lavender purple Sisu 5213, and the last one is this, like, I'm not sure, it's a purple, just purple. I don't have another name for it. And it is 5226. So I hooked on, let's say it that way, this blanket. Does anyone have any tips on how to do this so that I don't have to weave in all of these ends? Please let me know. If you haven't noticed, I'm not big on weaving in ends. I have started here. I have one that has no ends because I am done with them, but all the others have. So this is going to be a baby blanket, and I have used I'm going to see if, yeah, I know I have the picture, so I can link to it. I will link to it in the show notes. It's in the internet there is a like granny square color generator, and what you do is that you put in all the colors. They actually have, like, I don't think you can put in the code for the colors, but you have the palette and you can choose colors, and you choose if they are weak or strong or something, and you choose how many colors you're going to have in each square, and then you hit generate and you will get out the whole blanket. So that was awesome because I really wanted this to be random, and it's for a friend that is having a baby, and I think she will love this kind of retro style blanket. And this really needs to be finished because the baby was supposed to be here a week ago. So maybe I will bring this when I go to work next week. I'm traveling again next week, and I work 9 hours a day when I travel, so most of the day I have time off. But I don't really tend to craft when I'm away. So I will just link to everything in the show notes because it's I'm using a pattern. I used Generator to make a 3-color blanket, or 3-color squares, and I'm using this is color 1, 2, 1, 3 because I really wanted it to be like that. I don't know why, but I'm going to see if I can find the pattern that I used for the first square, and I'm using a technique that is join as you go, which is awesome because you don't have to weave in ends, and it actually looks quite good. So I'm going to see if I can link to all of those in the show notes. I hope that I can find back to everything. If not, I will just have to show you sometime. My last work in progress. Let's see. You see what this is, don't you? It is my granny stripe blanket. And this is, This is one of them. This is how far I was. The stitch marker is how far I was last time I talked to you a month ago, and this is how much I have done. This kind of got in the back seat when I started the other one, just because this isn't really something to bring along when traveling, and I will show you why. My plan was to make a blanket that was about to be about 1 meter, like 1 meter this way. If I stand up like this and I pull my hand as far up as I possibly can, it still reaches the floor and more than that. This blanket is at least 2 meters and 20. So it's huge. It will be for a king size bed. And I started out with the leftover mini skeins, because what I do is that whenever I finished a project or I get a mini, I put it into my miter square blanket, and then I always have leftovers, just a couple of grams or maybe 5 to 10 grams if it was a big mini. And I didn't know what to do with that, because I don't want to put it in my... I didn't want to put the same squares, same yarn twice in my miter square blanket. So I started out with just using mini skeins, and then, as I showed you last time, I made like magic cakes. This is the first one I'm working off, of 2 that I made. And I really enjoy this way of making it, but I'm having some issues with this magic cake, just because it's just... This one is really nice to just wrap up and put on the back of my couch, but this one is harder to hide. Or if my boy gets a hold of this, that's okay, because it's not like knitting where he can nip out a needle and I will have 400 stitches flying wild. It's just one point to put in the hook and it will be okay. But this one he can ruin, and this one is colorful and bright and fun, and of course he wants to play with it. So I have to put stuff in bags. And I don't really put stuff in bags. I just think that I'm going to put stuff in bags, and then I don't. And I have the bags someplace and the project somewhere else. Anyway, so that's it for my works in progress. I think that I can see by the time that I have been going through this quite fast. But that's just the way it is. Hopefully it will be better, hopefully next week, because I want to try to do this weekly thing. So after, I'm going to move on to, this is the perfect segue into acquisitions, because I have been working on my granny strap blanket, and when I had made what's it called, magic cakes, Annie from Against All Knots contacted me and said that, hey, I have 100-gram magic cake, do you want it? I was like, well, yeah, of course, but a question. So she sent me this magic cake, and this is going to be the next one to go into my blanket. And this one it's so exciting to get magic cakes from others, because I have no idea. Of course I can do like this, but I try not to. I don't want to know. I want to be surprised, because I don't know what's in here. I don't know what colors, I don't know what yarns, I don't know anything. So I'm really excited to work with a magic cake from someone else, because I think that will be really special, and that will be the next one in my granny stripe blanket. So thank you so much, Annie. It was really fun to get this. And I've been missing her for a while, because it's been a while since she podcasted. I think it's 1 month now, and I haven't seen the last one. But before that it was 2 months, so I have been missing her, and I can't wait to catch up with her last episodes. And I hope that she's not going away, because it's been quite a while between her episodes lately. But definitely check her out. She is so much fun to watch, and she is really inspiring, and she does like this teacher segment thing. I don't think it's every week, and I know it's not every week, but where she talks about something that is interesting. I know she did a bit about like the chemistry, not the chemistry, but the biology or something woolly thing for a while ago. I missed that one. But I'm really interested to see what stuff she's coming up with in the future, because her podcast is really great. Also, I did a swap with a lady in Germany because she contacted me, which was so awesome. She contacted me and said that I see that you have a few skeins of alpha. I think I talked about this before. And I was wondering if you would be willing to sell them to me, because I missed like one skein to finish my garment. And I was like, well, yeah, of course. I don't want them, or I don't have plans for them. So of course you can have maybe you can do a swap. So she got those skeins from me, and I got this wonderful cake or hank of 6-threaded sober ball. That's original sober ball. The colorway is 2136. It's the same colorway as I had in Finger Weight. I actually have the socks here. So I have made socks from this colorway before, but this is much heavier yarn because that's a fingering weight, and this is like a DK weight maybe. So I haven't quite decided if this is going to be a price sometime or if it is going to be thicker socks for me, because I think this yarn would make really warm, comfy, thicker socks to put outside of my thinner socks. And the last acquisitions I'm going to show you it's just wow, truly awesome. I mentioned after Christmas I got Sing interchangeable needles in as a Christmas gift from my son, which is 1.5 years old. So I'm guessing that his father helped him out a little bit. But I got the interchangeable needle sets from Sing. They are called like Melodies of Life or something. And I really enjoyed it. And I said on the podcast that now I have everything I need. My life is complete. I just want to try higher sharps and everything will be fine. And then Anita, who I have been talking quite a bit to on Instagram, on Ravelry. We have been chatting on Ravelry. And she's so awesome. She contacted me and said that, hey, I have a set of high sharps that I don't use. Maybe you'd want it. So she sent me this. I can't believe that someone actually sent me this. It's a full set of high sharps. Of course, some needles are being used right now. There was missing, I think one size were missing because she had been using it for something and didn't know where they went, and that's totally okay. I got all the small sizes, which is the ones that I use. The biggest one here is 4.5mm needles, and the smallest one I think was 2.75, which I'm using. So I have everything between 2.75 and 4.5, or did I say 4? Yeah, everything between 2.75 and 4.5mm needles. So that's everything between US2 and US7, which is awesome. And this thing that it's in my favorite color. Could it be more awesome? And as if, let's see. I got all the needles. I got lots of cables. And these needle grips to tighten the needles. And I thought this was pretty awesome. Then she sent me a message and asking if I'd want this. I said, well, yeah, of course I do. But it's too much. I feel uncomfortable taking it. Would you maybe like to swap for some hand-dyed yarn or something? And she said that that wasn't necessary because she's super generous. But if I wanted to, that would be awesome. So of course I wanted to, because I couldn't take this without sending something in return. It was just too much. And then this was what I knew was coming. It was the needle set. And then I got the package, and it was quite big. And I opened it, and inside I got this mini, which is not that bright, but it's quite bright, from what's it called? Nora George, who everyone has been talking about. I know her name is Tracy. Everyone has been talking about Nora George, and I can't wait. It looks like a single, so I can't wait to put this in my blankets. First few grams in my Mater Square, and the rest of it in my Granny Stripe. She sent me this Cedar Heart and Soul, which is self-strapping, which is awesome because I have been wanting some self-strapping to test out the smooth operator socks again. No, not again. I have been making Afterthought heel one time before, but I want to test out the smooth operator socks with this. And then she sent me some British naturals. And this is quite rustic yarn. It is 100% pure British wool. It's not rustic like... It's not as rustic as Shetland or the Norwegian Finul, but it is way more rustier than merino. And I'm not sure if I could wear this like a hat. Maybe I could. I'm not sure, I have to think about that. Because originally I thought that I can't wear this as a hat or a scarf. So I thought I would make mittens from this. But now I'm thinking maybe a cowl or a hat. Because this type of yarn, which is rustic, is it's great for strand knitting. So I was thinking of making a traditional Norwegian thing. Something. I got this card, which I'm not going to read. This is going up on my Hall of Fame. And last but not least, I got a project bag. And this is so well made. I don't think she sells them. But if you do, Anita, let me know, because I really want to link it. Because everyone should have this. This is really well made. It has teacups. It has a box bottom. And it has a polka dot lining. And inside it has a pocket. It's actually 2 pockets, which is awesome. Because if you have one pocket this size, everything will just fall out. But in these pockets, things will stay down inside here. And it has like a wall. Let's see if I can show you. Yeah, you can see it there. It has a wall in the middle so that you can knit 2 at a time socks. So I think I might have to try that again, to split a skein into 2 and knit 2 at a time socks. Or I could just use 2 different yarns. I think if I used 2 different yarns, now I'm just going to grab something that's close to me. But if I use like these 2, I knit 1 sock of each. And then I just made 1 more sock of each after. Because I think it will be easier to keep track of the yarn. Because I have troubles with the yarn tangling. I know that Amina has a great video, and what she does is so clever, but I just can't do it. It's just too much thinking. So maybe I should try making 2 at a time socks, but making 2 different socks, so that it will be easier to keep the yarns apart from each other. But this one is really awesome, and I think I will definitely have to try 2 at a time socks. And if that's not for me, it would be awesome to have like a sock project where I use the Norwegian yarns or 50 gram skeins, or if you are knitting a shawl, because I stuff my shawls in these tiny project bags. It's not tiny, but I think it's too small for a shawl. But I stuff my shawl in one side, and oh, you can do that with anything. You could put the yarn on one side, and then you can knit a pattern, not the project on the other side. So when you pick it up, your needles won't be stuck in the yarn. So I'm really looking forward to using this. So that's it. I haven't been using too much time, so I am going to rearrange a little bit, and I will do some Arctic living. No, I'm not sure. I will try to do some Arctic living. I'm horrible at Arctic living, but I'm going to at least do some shop updates. So, shop update. This is stuff that is actually in my shop as we talk. My shop has moved from Etsy and over to arcticyarns.com, and it is available in Norwegian and English, and my fjell base is supposed to cost $22, and if it seems when you go into the shop if it's more expensive than that. I don't know if it happens, but I know that sometimes that can be a problem. But if you go into the shop and it shows more than 22 or a really weird amount, it will change when you put in your address at the checkout. I don't think it's a problem though, but if it is, yeah, it's not supposed to cost more than $22. It's just that I have had some the reason that I moved away from Etsy, let's go to that first, is that I can't collect tax there, because I have to collect 25% VAT from customers in Norway, and I can't do that in Etsy because they won't make the papers right, because I have to collect it and I also have to keep a paper that actually shows the specific amount of VAT that I have collected, and then I have to pay that to the government later. And using Etsy, I had to, after each sale in Norway, I had to make a paper myself too, and it was just too much of a hassle, and I didn't want to put the Norwegian, I didn't want to make one Norwegian and one English size, because I'm afraid that the yarns will sell twice and that I will sell stuff that I don't have, because maybe I will sell something, say sell one skein in the morning and then I will sell the same skein in the afternoon on the other. I don't want to do that. But anyway, I have 2 skeins of, this is my fjell base. Everything that I show you now is my fjell base. This is my bubblegum color. It's not my bubblegum color, it's my cotton candy. My bubblegum is this one, I think. But I have my bubblegum, which goes well to cotton candy. So I have 2 skeins of bubblegum. I have 1 skein of mermaid, which is really popular. I have 2 skeins of Caribbean Ocean. I have 2 skeins of Summer Dreams. It's a little bit brighter. You should check it out in the, this one looks a little bit pale here, but it's, the photos in the web store is taken properly. I have I Wish I Was a Punker, which is a really heavy speckled one, and I really love this colorway. I have 1 skein of Viola. I have 1 skein of Lake Minnetonka. 2 skeins of Lake Minnetonka, actually. 2 skeins of Kinda Teal, which is the, it looks greener than it is, but it is the same color that I'm using in my honey pullover. I have Dearly Beloved. 2 skeins of Concrete, which is just a grey one. I have 2 skeins of Bright Summer Morning. I have 1 skein of Bonfire. I have 1 skein of Sunset at the Lake, which is a new colorway, which I also really enjoyed making. And I have 2 skeins of Blue Ara. Those are all on my fjell base, and I will now show you what I have on my snø base, which is my sparkle base. So on my snø base I have 2 skeins of Lake Minnetonka. I have 2 skeins of Sunset by the Lake. I have 1 skein, I thought it was 2, I probably sold 1, of Cotton Candy. And I have 2 skeins of Frozen Toes, which I also really enjoyed making. This is a really light blue, like ice blue, with speckles of pink and blues. So I have 2 skeins of that. I have 1 skein of Mermaid, 2 skeins of Bubblegum, 1 skein of Bonfire, one skein of Summer Dreams. Again, a little bit brighter in real life. Kinda teal. Bright Summer Morning. And this is the yarn that I've used in that one. Daily Beloved, which I've used in a shawl. Blue Aura, I have 2. And I have one skein of Caribbean Ocean, which is a little bit darker than it turns out here. So I'm rushing through this, but that's okay. I will show you quite quickly now the yarns that I have on my school base. So the light is getting weird outside. But this is my school base, which is my 100% merino. It's a DK weight. This is Bright Summer Morning, which I have 2 of. I have 2 skeins of Summer Dreams. I have 2 skeins of Concrete. I have 2 skeins of Caribbean Ocean. I have 2 skeins of Kinda Teal. I have 1 skein of Lake Minnetonka. I have 2 skeins of Bubblegum, which isn't quite as neon as it shows up. I have 2 skeins of Bonfire, where one of them was quite tangly, so I had to reskin it. I have 1 skein of Blue Aura, 1 skein of Viola, which is one of my more popular purple ones. And I have 2 skeins that are special ones, that are just one of a kind. So this is one, this is special number 13. And this is special number 12. These are colorways that will never be repeated because I have no idea. I didn't write down what I was doing. I didn't measure things. Yeah. So that's it. If you have other colors that you want that I haven't in stock, or you want a sweater quantity of yarn, feel free to contact me. You can do that by sending me a message on Ravelry, Instagram, or an email to e.bjorna.crud. E-post down here. Now the kid is awake, so I will have to go. It wasn't any Arctic Living segment, but I will do that next time, hopefully. I think so, and I will hopefully see you in a week. Bye.